Hey Collective, it's Intuitive Pisces Moon and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. There is a very important message that needs to come through today, and it is pertaining to absorbing other people's energy. It also pertains to having somebody else deliberately put negative energy onto the collective. So we're going to discuss that in depth today because the last two readings I had a lot of sadness attached to them, and I really don't like to sit in that energy, so I'm really hoping that we can come out of that. But it almost feels like a spell that you've been put under, and the couple of things that came up for me for that were the Wizard of Oz, when she's going through the field of poppies and she was under the Wicked Witch's spell and she falls asleep and she wants her to sleep so she can't continue her mission, right? The other one that came up was Artex in the Swamps of Sadness, and it just takes him under. And Atreyu is screaming at him like, don't let the sadness take you. So these are powerful forces that are coming after the collective. This could honestly be someone you know. It could be a friend of a friend. It could be a frenemy. It could even be a family member, okay? It could be anybody, right? Maybe you don't even know who is sending it, and that is fine and dandy. But our mission is important, right? Our mission is to keep our vibration high and to be authentic and to keep going. Because if we get stuck in this eternal sadness, then they have won. That is the way it is. This is an energetic war. And we are light warriors. So your calling and your mission is to stand strong in your power, in your presence, in your energy, in your positive, radiating love and light. These people have not done their shadow work. And so they are coming from a dark place of shadow. All right, that is the preface to today's video. That was the message that needed to come through. So, if that interests you, let's keep going, and we will see what we have to say about that. But I just really did not want to continue doing readings that were sad, because I don't enjoy doing that, and I'm sure that nobody else enjoys hearing all the sadness that comes through. So let's fight against it, okay? That's all we can do. We can be our authentic selves and continue spreading our loving energy, and it is going to trigger the shit out of people. Understand that. By merely existing, and that is all you are required to do, you are ripping into the matrix, and it is exposing falsehoods amongst everybody and everything, okay? So this is what we're here to do, light workers. If you resonate with that, let's keep going. All right, Spirit. We are talking about what is coming over the collective. What is this kind of spell that feels like it's been put on us? And what are we doing to stay above it, is what I'm getting. Like, again, don't let it pull you down. Don't let it sink you into the depths of sadness. You're allowed to feel those feelings, but let that shit go. Okay, we have ghosts. Interesting. Okay, we'll see where that takes us. What else do we have? Dominance. Yep. All right. We can already see where this is going. And battle. All right. What this is telling me is that someone is looking for a battle with you. And you may be a peaceful individual. In fact, I'm betting on that you are. You don't prefer to exert power over people. You don't prefer to battle with people, argue, that sort of thing. But people are trying to instigate you into their stuff. So it could be their negative energy. It could be their fear, right? Trying to pull you back in. The biggest example is a lot of the people in power are losing their positions. And so if you think about, what does somebody in power who's about to lose their position do? They kind of do the most on the way out. They fight kicking and screaming. So for the ghosts card, I actually am going to read from the book on this because it does very much tie in with all the rest of this. So it pertains to shadows of the past. It says, let them visit, but you don't let them stay. They no longer hold substance in your world. And if they linger too long, they may become trapped in your psyche. Have you ever found yourself having an argument with someone who wasn't even in the room? The argument plays out in your head. That situation that brought about the feelings and emotions that led to the internal disagreement is a ghost. Like a ghost repeating the pattern of walking through a room as it has done each night since its human form passed. It is stuck in a moment in time. There is nothing that can be said or done that will change what occurred. Ghosts asks you to examine your feelings regarding a past event. Are you able to find acceptance and move forward into healing? Are you unable to forgive or seek forgiveness, allowing old wounds of the past to remain open? Pay attention to when ghosts appear. They may indicate the source of the block. It might be time for an exorcism. Okay. So, as interesting as it is, in the beginning I did say that it could be a person. But guess what? It doesn't have to be. It could actually be someone from your past. Let's just say you were in some terrible relationship, right? And you broke up and severed ties with them, and you're still replaying arguments in your head. You're still thinking about the terrible things that occurred with that. Okay, it doesn't have to be a relationship. Let's just say you had an abusive parent, right? And every time someone in the room yells, it triggers you because it reminds you of growing up with that abusive parent. So it can come about in many ways. Maybe it was a boss that yelled at you that was not very nice. Maybe it was a coach if you were in sports or something along those lines. This could literally be anybody in your life. And by replaying the events over and over in your head, you are keeping the ghosts alive, right? You're allowing it to drag you down and to prevent your progress to move forward. So the interesting thing is that I also, when it first came out, attributed ghost to ancestral trauma, right? This could even be somebody that's no longer with us that was abusive towards you. Again, maybe they tried to assert their dominance and fought with you constantly, right? So take this as it resonates, because there are many facets to where this can go. But this very much ties into exactly what I was feeling before I even sat down to do this reading. So what we're focusing on today in this reading is paying attention to how your thoughts mold your existence. And are you allowing stuff from the past to hold on too tightly and to keep you down in your current moments? All right. At the bottom of the deck, we do have growth. So I'm very happy to see this here because, again, it's like a glimmer of hope to get out of this bog of sadness, right? We don't want to be stuck in this. We don't want to stay asleep forever. So we're here to grow through this process. And again, if we kind of allow this to dictate our present moments, our now moments, then it will muddy the waters of what should be, our beautiful existence. So let's get into the tarot and see where we can go from here. Very interesting reading already. So let's talk about ghosts. Tell me about this ghosts. Thank you, the sun. Okay. And as I said, the sun, the word sun, like S-O-N, also came out in my mind's eye. So you could be the son of somebody. You could have a son. So somebody's son might be involved. Because this is a little boy. Could be inner child. Again, going back to the abusive parent. Or some abusive relationship growing up. That's still lingering in your mind, your current presence. All right, let's keep going. The Page of Pentacles. Okay, again, child energy there. I'm getting student. Like science. Okay, science class came to me. Maybe you were like eager to learn something and you had a teacher that just was mean. And it made you not want to learn more on that topic. Like, I'm so interested in science, but this teacher's terrible. Okay. And the Queen of Wands. All right. That's also feminine energy. Very fiery, passionate. So, this almost feels like you have grown into this new version of yourself, but there is still some mental aspect that has a childlike energy that's pulling you back to the past to relook at it. So don't ignore that, but don't live there, right? So with the Ghosts card, they're basically saying, hey, yes, this is coming up for a reason. Visit it, but don't live there. And don't let it take up your permanent residence in your mind. Okay? So, doesn't matter how much, if it is black magic, okay, we're talking about that, where somebody is forcefully trying to bend your will to prevent you from doing something. You have the power to overcome that. My biggest advice to you in this situation is sage yourself daily. If you have visitors that come into your home, sage right after they leave. Sage yourself before you go to bed, because that will help you in the dream state, the subconscious state, especially if somebody's messing with you, particularly in your dream state. Okay? I have had that happen before, and it can be tricky to get rid of them. But basically, you have some sort of open cord or thread between you and that person that needs to be cut, severed, blocked, whatever you need to do. And you might even need to visit a practitioner to accomplish that for you. If you're not able to do it yourself, find someone that you trust. Okay? Don't just go to like the witch doctor on the corner. Not that those are just easy to find, but you know. So whatever this is for you here, trust that it is happening for a reason. And again, because growth was at the bottom of the deck, it is telling me that this is part of your test is the word that came up, but it's your journey. So when people are coming in and trying to mess with your energy and manipulate it, your growth happens when you're able to acknowledge it and to do something about it and overcome it. Okay? You are meant for greatness, and they see this in you, and it makes them fearful and try to bring you down. Okay? Florida water also works. I know I've brought that up on my channel before. Sage, Florida water, whatever you got to do, man. Sigils, evil eye. You know, this is the evil eye. You could wear it. Whatever you have to do. There's a lot of ways to prevent this negative energy from accessing you. Okay? If you are just leaving your energy open all the time, then yes, you're making it easy for them to just be like, I'm gonna mess with your energy. So do your part, right? I know we can't see the energy, but we can certainly feel the energy. All right? You get into somebody's presence and you feel icky, or maybe you don't feel icky as soon as you get into their presence, but as soon as you leave their presence, you feel like better. Like, ugh, I don't like hanging out with that person because they just steal my energy, it feels like. Energy vampires, right? All right, let's get over to the next pile of dominance. Tell me more about this dominance card, please. Judgment. Okay. So, the message that's coming to me for this is that this will be taken care of. So, this is a two-way street here, a double-edged sword, whatever you want to call it. Because judgment's happening in two places. One, these people that are trying to assert their dominance on you are being judged for it. Okay? So that's where you needn't worry. It will be handled according to the laws of the universe, right? Of karmic laws. But this is also a call for you, collective, to judge correctly who is in your energy, who deserves your energy. Because if people are just showing up and you're just giving it away freely, to me, that's saying you're not acknowledging your own worth and how valuable your time is. And again, it may take some exorcism, is the way they put it, to get rid of something like this. For you to feel like, okay, I'm in this bog of sadness and I don't enjoy it here. How do I get out of this? Okay, now I've cleansed my energy. I've cut off people that don't need to be in my life. I feel better now all of a sudden. And you're like, yeah, I had to use judgment in my life. And again, dominance, this is somebody who wants to assert their dominance over you. But guess what? This is also you asserting your dominance against others. Not that you want to dominate them, but that you are saying, I am dominant over my own life. You will not put your will onto me. I choose boundaries. So, all right, let's keep going. All right, the Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. I love this. So, this is healing. We do have healing occurring, and this is also us flourishing and growing. So with judgment, this is kind of a zombie hand coming out of a cemetery ground, and it's very dark energy. But the Queen of Pentacles is this very beautiful, flourishing, earthly, motherly energy. And the Four of Swords is about healing and taking our rest when we need it, our self-care time, right? So again, I also see this arm stretched out and she's holding this pentacle and she's basically like saying, stop in the name of love. So whatever you are doing to prevent these energies from getting into your presence, this is your form of judgment and taking the dominance back of your own life. I love it. Because again, we talked about doing the healing work. These people who are coming from these dark energies have not done the healing work. And so collective, if you have already done some or a lot of healing work, good for you. You're ahead of the game. And you know how to call this out and to identify it and to prevent it. And if you don't, then come back to bed. Do some more rest. Do some more healing work. That's what is required of you right now. All right, let's get over to this battle. Like the words tongue lashing came out. So it's not necessarily a physical battle. Maybe some people are looking for like a fight. Maybe they're trying to instigate a fight from you. But I'm more getting that this is an argument that they're trying to come out of. Like they might try to start a fight with you by just saying one word under their breath or something, and they know it's going to trigger you. But look at you. You're like, not today, Satan. I absolutely cannot stay here and do this battle with you because it's not my battle to fight. They have their own inner battle going on, and they're trying to pull you into it. Collective, good for you. You're like, nope, that is not for me. Yep, I choose to end that cycle. Maybe you would have gotten triggered in the past and engaged with these people, but you're choosing different now. That is all the difference in the world. The world. You're saying, I successfully completed that pattern and I choose not to repeat that cycle. I am done with this. And death. Absolutely. A lot of major arcana here. At least one in each pile. So, death refers to letting things end and have new beginnings. It's a literal echo of these two cards combined, right? I am letting something end and I am starting fresh. I think all of this is relatively beautiful, and I don't need to say much more on this. So that was the message. Let's keep going. I want to see what we're doing about this, because these people, these energies, and it might not even be people. Again, there's energies. There's an energetic war going on and collective. We are the strong warriors holding up our energy. Remain positive, work through this, and don't participate. That's the biggest thing I can tell you is don't participate. You have the choice not to participate. Okay. So we have the whale, which is wisdom. And we have the badger, which is determination. I love that. So it's telling me that we've learned already this lesson. Okay? Again, maybe in the past you would have engaged in this and said, I'm so triggered right now, I'm going to keep arguing with you because I'm right. And that's kind of the best way to describe this verbal argument, right? In the past, you may have just felt that your point of view was right, and this other person, regardless of whether you were right or wrong, did not care, just wanted to engage in an argument with you. Just wanted to flood your energy with this triggering feeling to cause you to bring out some side of you that you're like, hey, I've already healed that. I don't want to bring that person out anymore because actually that person doesn't exist. And that's beautiful. We also have to let past versions of ourselves go. And that's what I'm getting here, is that there is somebody or a group of people that are trying to engage with a past version of you. And you're showing up differently this time. You're showing up and saying, yeah, that person doesn't exist anymore. Nice try, but I choose different for myself. Again, I might have argued with you in the past about this stupid topic, whatever it is, but I'm not gonna today. And so they're looking at you like, oh man, I came for a fight. I wanted to assert my dominance over you. And you're not fighting with me. This is no fun, right? It's giving me very heavy narcissist energy. I thought we were going to argue today, and I thought I was going to assert my power over you. All right, the ant cooperation. So what that's telling me is that as you are demonstrating this new version of yourself, okay, it's showing people what they are capable of. And they may not be ready for it yet, but guess what? That doesn't matter. Your job is done. You've done the healing work. You have walked away and chosen to end a cycle and to start fresh with your life. This past version of you that they're trying to engage with does not exist anymore. And because they see that, they're going to choose two things. One, go find somebody else to mess with. Or two, maybe I need to heal something within myself too. And we also have the hawk, which is vision. I love it. Vision. It's like we're seeing something in a new light. There's something that's coming out that is showing us, and again, likely it's you showing these people a different way of living. So, let's just say it's a family member. It could be a parent, right? You grew up a particular way with them. Maybe they were verbally or physically abusive. And when you got older, you chose to leave that behind and to start something new, right? Maybe you had kids, and now the next generation, you're like, I will not treat my kids the way that I was treated. I'm choosing different for myself. It's showing those people that, hey, maybe I wasn't so nice to this person. Maybe I can change the way I am. You know, doesn't mean that's going to happen. Okay, we can only lead the horse to water. We cannot make them drink. But your purpose here, collective, is to be better than any past version of yourself was, and to do what you want and feels right in your own life. And what this is doing is it's showing people around you what's possible. People are looking at you like, oh, wow, you are just living so differently than we did growing up, or that I remember you from however long ago. It could be yesterday, it could be last month, last year, last decade. However long ago this version of you that they're trying to interact with that doesn't exist, they're going to quickly find out that, wow, you've changed, man, but like in a good way. And again, some people might run away scared because of it. It might trigger them to heal their own wounds. Or maybe they choose to just stay stuck and stagnant in this repetitive cycle and move on to a new victim. And you know what? That's okay too. At the bottom of the deck, we have the butterfly evolution. Look at you. This is what they're seeing. This is what other people see you doing, collective. Wow, you have grown. You have evolved. You are different than the last time I witnessed you or engaged with you. And it's beautiful. And even if they can't see your beauty and they're trying to still battle with you and assert their dominance, that's okay. You're choosing different for yourself now, and you are walking away from that. All right, let's get some advice from Archangel Michael. All right, what advice do we have, please, for the collective for this beautiful reading? Open up to your spiritual gifts. Remember that your true nature is spiritual, not physical. The angels are sending you messages to guide your soul's growth. I love it. What else do we have? Yes, you are correct. You have listened to your inner guidance and made a wise choice. Keep moving forward. So again, this is about closing cycles and choosing something new for yourself. So your angels are like, hell yes, keep going. That was the right choice. You didn't need to be stuck and stagnant back here with these people, even though they're trying to rope you back in. That's not what you're choosing for yourself. I love it. Okay, what else do we have? Angels of healing are with you. A time of healing is about to bless your life. Accept Archangel Raphael's emerald green light while I enhance your strength. Okay, so that is a combination of Archangel Michael's sword of light and the caduceus with Archangel Raphael. So if when you're meditating you are seeing blue and green, that's these angels coming in to assist you in healing further. I love it. So again, that's also throat and heart chakras. So we're speaking up about what we need to say, but we're also healing our hearts, okay? Sometimes the Four of Swords can be a day's worth of work. It could be a year's worth of work. It could be a decade's worth of work. We just don't know how long this is going to take. So take it one day at a time and understand that you have spiritual support, okay? You are getting healing and growth through this process. And again, don't let it take you under, right? Don't give up on love. A relationship you cherish can be healed. Allow me to clear the way for forgiveness so that love can thrive again. Okay. So if this came from a past relationship, whether it was a familial, romantic, friendship, any kind of thing like that can be a relationship. What Archangel Michael is referring to here is don't close your heart off to love. So this can give us trust issues, right? Well, somebody else in the past hurt us really bad and didn't have our best interest at heart. And therefore, it's making me feel like I can't open my heart up to love again. But here's the thing. We are love. We radiate love. And the biggest thing with this message is forgiveness. So even though people have purposefully tried to bring you down, your best bet in that situation is to forgive them, forgive yourself, and move on. You take with you the lessons. Maybe in the next situation, you will not willy-nilly offer your heart up so quickly. You're like, yep, I remember it being smashed to bits and thrown back in my face, so I'm not going to offer it as fast next time. I'm going to protect it this time. Plus, you've got armor around it. Since you've been through so much, you're like, yep, I am safer now because it's been broken and bandaged up and whatever. Now it has a wall around it and barbed wire. But here's the thing. Don't wall it off entirely so that you're not open to love ever again. You will love again. It's just a matter of knowing who to trust with that love. Be the real you. Your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. Okay, so that's also telling me that perhaps in the past you lost yourself in relationships. And that might be why you're afraid to jump in again. It's something that's, okay, I won't be accepted if I show them who I truly are, so I'm gonna be who they want me to be. And again, that doesn't get us very far in love situations because after a while you do start to feel like, well, this isn't even me. Like, who am I anymore, Like, what I'm getting with this is that as you radiate your authentic vibration, authentic love will find you. And again, this is going to show up in friendships, in romantic senses, like your soulmates, your soul family, your soul tribe, kindred spirits. They're going to be like, yes, let your freak flag fly. I also have a similar freak flag. Let's go. Be a light to others. You have a powerful message to share. Shine your light on the world so that others can learn from you. Absolutely. All right, bottom of the deck is you are protected. You are safe within my bubble of light, and you can proceed with confidence. There it is. So again, for any of you who may have been afraid to move forward or to leave some of this icky energy behind, because of threats. Like, I'm getting very much threats. Like, maybe they have said, if you ever leave me, I will make sure that blah, 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 whatever they said. And that may have terrified you at some point. What the message here is don't be afraid of that. Again, judgment came out, and it said that these people are being handled and taken care of, okay? They cannot harm you. And if they do, there will be retributions for it. But spiritually, you are heavily protected, okay? You are chosen ones. So they can think they can come at you, but really they can't. So your biggest advice here is to protect your energy, cut off those who don't belong in your inner circle. And I'm also getting to that your information, your privacy, is also your energy. So don't give away too much about yourself to just anybody, right? you've got to really trust somebody to just tell them everything about you. And I mean really trust. But also be yourself, right? Somebody who is on your level, your energetic frequency, is going to see that and be like, yes, I also resonate with that energy, right? Don't be afraid to tell people who you really are. Show that authentic energy. It does show. And I've actually had that happen to me, where again, you meet somebody, you don't know who they are. They're like, yeah, I've met other people in the past who say that they do what you do, but you resonate differently. Like your energy is different. And I'm just like, oh, cool. That's so awesome that you picked up on that, right? I didn't have to tell anybody what I am or what I do or any of that stuff. They just feel it. So that's how this is going to happen. People are just going to come into your life and they're just going to feel you, right? Hey, you feel good. I like being in your presence. But also make sure that you enjoy being in their presence, okay? Because that's the whole reciprocation thing. Somebody might come in your energy and be like, yes, I love your energy, but then just want to take it. So that's where we have to draw those boundaries and cleanse our energy, whatever you got to do to protect yourself. It's worth it. It's worth it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate your time and energy exchange. I want you to fill your own cup up with love before you fill someone else's. Go within so you never go without. And keep in mind that I'm a beacon of light here to help guide you through the darkness. I wish you all a lifetime of happiness, health, wealth, abundance, and so much love. Thank you again. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.